Plaintiff Vicki Peterson says her son has a child with the defendant, and the defendant is extremely violent, and she has the police reports to prove it. Vicki's suing for bail, alone, and emotional distress. Defendant Kelsey Johnson believes Vicki wants to take custody of her daughter, and that's why she falsely accused Kelsey of abusing and neglecting the child. Kelsey's countersuing for emotional distress.
Start with you.
I met Kelsey approximately 3 years ago, right around Christmas time. My son had called, said that he was going to bring his girlfriend home for Christmas, if that was okay. Jacob and Kelsey started having problems within a month or so after Christmas, and Jake called and said that they had broken up. Well, about a month after that, Jake calls and says, well, we're not going to get broke up, Mom, because guess what? You're going to be a grandma again. Both of them being underage and still in high school, I had a little bit of an emotion breakdown and told him I needed 24 hours to think. When he did call me back, I said, Jake, I will do everything I can to help you out. Let me talk to Kelsey's mom. Well, Mom, that's a problem. Kelsey's mom is locked up in jail. Another parole violation. I got everything, car seat, everything that they needed to bring a baby home from the hospital.
Why are you breaking down today?
Because this has been so emotional. Kelsey hasn't let Jacob or I see the baby for a couple of months now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I have police reports here about Kelsey's behaviors, that she is a very violent person. It's not just my home that she comes into, and if I don't give her her way, that she slam bangs doors or breaks things or threatens me or puts me and my family through hell. It's everybody.
Why did she do that?
I think that she's had a very tough upbringing. Her mother has had a history of meth dealing and using, and multiple arrests throughout Kelsey's whole life.
Violence?
They didn't go into any more detail than that,
Okay.
because most of it's really none of my business.
Okay.
But for the safety of my granddaughter, they felt that I needed to know that much.
All right. You want to give some background?
Yes, we're here today because I believe Vicki is trying to take my daughter from me. She has 6 children, and they are all out of her household.
She has 6 children and wants 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
What has she done to make you believe she's trying to take the child?
She's told me a couple times personally that she thinks her son should have Serena at their house and everything like that. But there's reports stating that I'm neglecting my daughter and I don't take care of her.
Let's back up. Because Grandma has said, I believe my son, not her. She said, I believe my son should have the child. How does that equal her trying to take the child? That statement there. All right.
Vicki is trying to take my daughter from me. She has 6 children, and they are all out of her household.
She has 6 children and wants 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
Defendant Kelsey Johnson has a child with the plaintiff's son, and she claims the plaintiff falsely accused her of abuse and neglect in an attempt to gain custody of the child.
Tell me the other examples then.
We're going through court and all that stuff, and her son couldn't even go down and file papers and take me to court himself. She went down and did it for him. She is an everyday user with alcohol, and
No. Let's stay where we're at.
What?
So I don't want to be confused. You said there were other incidents that demonstrated to you that she wants to take your child. I asked you what? You said, well, one day her son couldn't make it to court, and she came in place of him. So I don't think that shows that she wants to take it. I think it shows she's helping her son. So do you have any other examples?
No.
Good enough. All right. You want to talk about the loan and the bail before I get back to her on the specifics?
Yes, I'm not exactly sure what happened. It was around October of this past year. Kelsey had an altercation with some other person. I do not know the name. Evidently, a gun got involved. I'm assuming that from what I had heard that the other person had chased Kelsey out of the house with the gun. Kelsey then received a ticket for disorderly conduct and was given a court appearance date or a date to pay up the fine. Kelsey failed to appear in court again. They issued a warrant. They executed the warrant. Kelsey went to jail. At this time, my granddaughter had pneumonia. I didn't have rights to sign her in and out of the hospital to get treated. I felt that Kelsey was deserving of a second chance to take care of her child and be there for my granddaughter because it was serious health issues. I called my friend. I have a witness statement. I asked him if I can get an advance on the money that he owes me.
Did she ask you to bail her out?
Yes, she did. I went up to her apartment where Jacob was at, and she had said, please do what you can, Ma. Get me out. I'm begging you. There's nobody else. My family can't come with the money.
How much did you pay to bail her out?
Pennies short of $300.
Okay, and what was the agreement?
That she was going to file her taxes.
Let me have that, please, Doyle.
She was going to, sorry.
People are laughing because they know, as I've informed them, that people, when they tell you that they're going to pay you with their tax money, you never get it.
Yeah.
In fact, anyone that has watched this show, they'll know that in the 12 years we've been on the air, we at least have a tax repayment plan every single week. Now, one person has paid when they say, I'll pay you when I get my income tax.
Well, she didn't even get income taxes. I found out she worked one day and then quit.
And that's what that's what occurs in many other instances. And by the way, just for a point of information for you and viewers, whenever there is a child is in jeopardy and you don't have custody, you can petition the court for emergency custody. And as long as you show some type of probable cause, they will grant you emergency custody that day.
I found that out later.
And you would take, in that case, you could have taken the bail receipt to the judge and say, Judge, she's in jail. So you can always seek emergency custody. Tell me about the loan.
That was last year. She had me, last summer, she couldn't live with anybody else. Jamie was then again locked up. Once again for another parole violation. Once again, I put Kelsey up in a hotel at the Days Inn with a pool and everything for a week.
With a pool too.
A pool and everything. I stayed one or two nights, and then I went and got my apartment and moved in, and they stayed. Mm-hmm. But that was supposed to be repaid back too, and no.
How much was that?
That was $225 plus $50 or $25 for tax.
For a hotel because she had no place to go.
Right.
Let me allow her to address the bail and the loan.
Okay, now the bail, back in October or February when I went to jail, I had my own apartment at the time, and me and my daughter were up there, and my boyfriend at the time, her son, we were staying up there, and the cops came like at midnight to pick me up, and I don't recall if my daughter was sick or what, but she was up at the house. When I left, Jake was there and staying there to watch her. And she had everything there that she needed. She did bail me out for $263.50, but I was going to try to pay her friend off with my graduation money that I just had graduated just a couple weeks ago.
What do you mean her friend?
She had borrowed money from her friend to bail me out.
Right, but you borrowed it from her to bail you out.
No, I asked her son to ask her.
Who put the money down?
Her friend Wally.
He went to the court. You have the bond receipt that says Wally?
No, I do not. She took it out of my purse that very night.
Whose name was on the bond receipt?
My name was on the bond receipt, Your Honor.
All right, then that's who you owe. Tell me about the loan.
So, okay, well, back when she was in a woman's abused home at the time, and I didn't even know she was getting the hotel room, and we all went up to go pick her up and run errands and do whatever because I had a car at the time, so she was using it.
Did you stay in the hotel?
We all stayed in the hotel.
Okay, did you know you were staying there?
No, not at first. I didn't.
You never knew. You just woke up and you didn't know, and you didn't know where you were. Did someone pay for that hotel on your behalf?
Yes, she did.
Was it her? Mm-hmm. Did you agree to repay her?
Did not.
Was it ever discussed? Payment?
No.
Okay.
That she was going to file her taxes.
People are laughing because they know that in the 12 years we've been on the air, now one person has paid when they say, I'll pay you when I get my income tax.
Defendant Kelsey Johnson has a child with the plaintiff's son. And she claims the plaintiff falsely accused her of abuse and neglect in an attempt to gain custody of the child.
I'll go back to you for your emotional distress claim.
Whenever Kelsey does not get her way in my home or anywhere, she has a tendency of being violent. Things like
She looked like she wanted to jump on me over there.
she slam bangs doors. She causes such a scene that I have another witness statement from my new neighbor that moved in just this winter upstairs, that Kelsey gets so violent and so loud that her children get woken up. She doesn't want her children around Kelsey.
What I need to know is what it is you want money for.
The violence in my home, the slam banging of things, the breaking things, the stealing
Do
things.
you have your police report?
I have police reports that range from everywhere. Here's one
From what years?
Just the last year.
How many? Was she prosecuted for any of them? Why?
18 of them here.
Why wasn't she
piece here.
prosecuted?
These ones here are all for service. These other
mean?
ones here.
What does that mean? All for service.
Calls for service to remove her from the property. Only like 6 of these are from my house. These are from 18 different reports from Kelsey on other people's property, but some are from mine.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
When I said the things she did to you.
Right.
Right?
I get it. I mean, it's
You get it? You must not. Give me reports of what she did to you. Count those.
I have 6 right here that I brought with me, plus the other 2 actual major reports that have been referred to child protection by the
We're
police.
talking about police right now.
Yes.
Now, did they prosecute her for any of those 6?
No, just
Why
removed her
do
from
you
the
think
property.
they didn't?
I didn't really want to press charges. I just wanted her off my property.
You just
Stop
kept calling and
Get her off my property.
using the police resources over and over. Had the police come out and then wouldn't press charges.
Well,
Why did you keep doing that?
Because actually it was all for the baby's sake, you know.
I don't understand the connection.
Because she's destroying my stuff and she's violent and she's beating it on Jacob and she's trying
Did
to
you tell the police she was violent and
Yes.
beating on people?
Yes.
Read that portion when she was
doesn't really go
violent
into a lot of
toward you.
There's so much stuff here. I
You.
don't understand.
Just read one where she was violent toward you.
Ongoing harassment by Kelsey states that they are harassing and then threatening in nature. These are the texts. This one here's the text
No,
messages.
attacks. Remember, violent.
And disturbance at the above named apartment patio appears to be between 2 females, one male.
I want to hear your name. Vicky. I want to hear
doesn't say-
Vicky
it doesn't
Peterson
say my name. It
said
says-
that she was attacked.
They don't say that.
I know they don't.
put it
Let's move
as
on, man. What else did she do to you for emotional distress?
I mean, for the fact that I've nearly gotten evicted from my apartment because of all of the noise and the slam
You
banging of
didn't
doors
have
and the
to.
wrecking
You
of
could
property.
have put her out like you said and
that's
pursued
right.
it. Instead, you consistently allowed it to happen. Remember that?
Yes,
So
and
when
I
you
know.
continue to allow something to happen, you can't then sue for something you allowed to happen. What is your counterclaim for emotional distress?
Can I bring up the fact about she was saying I was crazy in her house and
Yes,
being
go ahead.
violent
And
and
then
stuff?
move on to what you're suing
Okay,
for.
well, I've never ruined any of her property. I've
Just
never.
slam doors?
Yeah.
Why?
Frustration, dating her son, having problems.
Okay. You did show anger and you took that anger out on her property. What else?
I don't know. I just have some reports stating that I had to pick up property at their apartment or whatever, and I needed the police to assist me to go pick it up because there was confrontation between us. And I have one that says abuse and neglect on my daughter, and then domestic, and I don't know. There's just a
What
bunch
was the
of
result of the allegation that you abused and neglected your child?
nothing ever happened. I never
Okay.
abused.
What was the specific allegation she made?
It doesn't say. It doesn't say.
Well, if it doesn't say, I'm not convinced that she did it or she did something wrong. Unless you can tell me what she did wrong, I can't assume she did do something wrong.
Hi, I'm Kelsey's mom.
Well, step up. State your name.
Hi, Jamie Johnson.
All right. What is it, to your knowledge, that she did wrong when she called about the child?
She made false accusations stating that the baby was in danger. The baby was not in danger. The baby was with
Did
me
she
and my
give any
grandmother.
specifics of
Yes,
why
that
she
there was
believed?
bruises and that I was using
Pardon?
that there was bruises left on the child and that I was using drugs with the child.
that you were
In the home,
using.
yes.
So the investigation was for something you did.
Correct. I was watching
So
my granddaughter
you
while
should
my
be the one to sue for emotional distress if she accused you of it.
Correct.
All right, so you're not suing today.
No, sir, I'm not.
All rise. This court is now in session.
If you're in Chicago and would like to attend a taping of the Judge Mathis Show, call us at 1-866-3-MATHIS. Defendant Kelsey Johnson has a child with the plaintiff's son, and she claims the plaintiff falsely accused her of abuse and neglect in an attempt to gain custody of the child.
You can't sue her for what she did to your mother.
Well, she made false allegations and phone calls that
About your mother.
Well, I was
About what? What are you saying,
I
ma'am?
don't know. I got these
You don't know
papers
what
that
you're
say
saying?
Vicky
Ma'am,
called the cops.
Your emotional distress claim is dismissed. With regard to the loans, ma'am, I believe she owed you for the loans, and that would $250 for the loan, $300 for the bail money. She has admitted. She was honest enough to admit that she would get angry and slam your doors. Certainly that would cause a homeowner emotional distress. So I'm going to grant you $1,000 in emotional distress. So your total judgment will be $1,550 and your claim is dismissed. You all have a good day.
I still care very much about you, Kelsey, and I love Serena very much, and I wish you would let us see her and not have this have to be in and out of court forever. Let's just try to be a family separately, but, you know, do the right thing for her, for Serena, all of us.
I would like her to stop drinking, get her life in order. Hope you get your kids
I hope
back.
that you guys
Hope
get off the
best
drugs, because if they
happens.
did a drug test right now, I'd be the only one
Otherwise,
in this
I really
room that
don't
wouldn't
think
wake up.